Glasgow playing center, it ain't gonna work, man. That's the only determination I've come out of this game thinking to myself, like, can everything else get of course it is. I think defensively, they will fly around the ball more Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not worried about that part because the defense kind of like did what they were supposed to do, to be honest with you. I think Terran Arnold, he I'm this close with him. This close. You know what I'm saying? Where he's gotta step it up, man. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know it's one game. I'm not gonna fly off the handle. They just look like they were unprepared, and I've never seen that. Like I made the post, I've never seen that with that. It's been a while since that you've seen it. Well, I'm
Well,
gonna say the Washington game kind of caught them off guard. It was almost like they got caught off guard against the Commanders, and it was
right.
sort of like this game. They treated yesterday like it was a preseason game. I didn't understand what was going on. I really didn't. It was like I couldn't believe it. It was like even though maybe okay, I say it said put it this way. Maybe I took the offensive line for granted. Maybe I thought they just was going to automatically still dominate. And that's Decker got his ass kicked, man. You know what I'm saying? Kristen Mahogany didn't win any battles. Graham Glasgow, Tate Ratledge left the guy unblocked. You know what I'm saying? Numerous times, especially on the goal line, I was holding my breath. I couldn't believe that they damn near like gave up a safe. You know, it was just like whatever what was going on, like wasn't supposed to happen. That in my if Green Bay gonna win the game, that's fine. I mean, we've had their number. Listen, while we won 6 out of 7, they was gonna bound to beat us. You know, division game, home. You know, the home crowd. They were bound to win one. And I don't care. I can get over a loss. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. But it was just a couple red flags. That's all I'm saying. Graham Glasgow cannot play the whole year at center. I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know if it's a guy out there you can trade for or right now at this point in the season, but that is not gonna work, man. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I would rather have them shuffle the line and let Mahogany play center or let Tate Rat. I'd be more I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. You
We got
know,
Mike. We got Mike in
yeah,
here already. What the heck is this? No, no, it's
yeah,
hell. Tonight is hell.
yeah, yeah.
What the hell is
Yeah,
this?
I mean,
And we got Bobby Drake.
I'm not getting ready. I'm not sugarcoating anything. That's just me. That's how I am. That's who I am. I just I don't know, man. If you want to say anything, okay. Tesla looked good on the catch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was one thing. Jack Campbell made some play. Derek Barnes made a very good stop the drive on third down. You know, that was a big play. St. Brown made a couple, he did St. Brown things, made a couple nice catches. I like that. That was it. I didn't really I thought the defense was okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jordan Love only had 188 yards. It wasn't like he lit us up, but like you said, he was opportunistic. You know what I'm saying? And he made it count when he had to make a throw. He made it count. You know what I'm saying? So is the season over? Hell no, it ain't over. But I don't like Graham Glasgow playing center, man. I'm gonna say that all year until I see better play. He hasn't played well. Last year he wasn't playing well. So it makes you think all of a sudden now he's gonna play well. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I think he passed his prime. That's all. I mean, if you think about it,
Well,
if
that's.
you go ahead, I'll let you elaborate on.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? All right, cool.
Yeah,
Um, this is something. Listen, we've known this for what 4 years now.
yeah,
Taylor Decker was a first round pick out of Ohio State. That was the previous regime's pick. Taylor has had a solid, steady career. Good left tackle. Probably will never at any point in his career a top 10 left tackle in the league. May have had a top 10 season. here or there, but he was never really considered one of the elites. But he's been a mainstay and he's been a rock for sure. Panay Sewell, blue chip, can't miss prospect out of Oregon. He's been a rock since day one. He was this organization and this regime's very first draft pick. No problem with it. Up until 5 months ago, with that NFL draft, when was the last time like they legitimately upgraded that offensive line on the interior with talent? Like, and they've replaced so much over the years. Jonah Jackson and Zeitler and like so many guys over the past 4 years, I think people have forgotten have come and gone, or guys who were already holdovers from the last team that was here that started out here, played 2 years, then left or whatever. And they're just not now getting this interior of the offensive line together with young talent like Ratledge and Miles Frazier, who's hurt right now. He may be back sometime, probably closer to Thanksgiving, hopefully. And that falls into the basket that you mentioned earlier about being better and being more primed and ready to go towards the finish line in regards to like maybe the middle of the season. And not so much now. But the problem with them struggling now is like this ain't the type of schedule to be struggling with this early in the season. You mess around and you go 0-2, or you go, like I said, you have to march into Baltimore Monday night, week 3, down 0-2 already. 0-3 is a death sentence. I don't care what the rest of your schedule look like. And everybody out there competing, trying to win. So it's going to take the interior of the offensive line a minute, because typically when you have that much youth on the interior of the offensive line, now you have to lean on your tackles to help them out more. So now you're going to do more split field, at least split line protections. You're going to have man on the backside sometimes. Then you're going to have zone on the other side. Most of the time you're going to run the zone. You're going to have some duo with that. You're going to consistently give that guard or that center some help. So what does that do? That handicaps Panay Sewell, and that handicaps Taylor Decker out of doing what they need to do. If they have to consistently save, and for lack of a better phrase, I got to save your ass all day long. Because you're the rookie and you learning on the job, and somebody did it for me when I came into the league. So it's going to take them a minute to really groom things together. We already know offensive linemen are victims of habit. That like they need continuity, they need habit. And it's going to take these young guys a minute, but who knows if they're good by week 4 or 5 and the talent really starts to take off. But Mahogany is the one that probably should be a little bit more ahead of schedule. But he's still young.
Yeah, that was
he's
what
still
his
gonna
third
have his
start.
moments too.
Yeah,
Right.
that was his third
Right.
start. You know what I mean?
So I mean, I think just to kick this off, one of the first things that was really puzzling to me, of course, was Jahmyr Gibbs' performance right along with David Montgomery's performance. Now, 18 touches overall for Jahmyr Gibbs. They tried to get him football for sure. What was it? 19 touches overall between catches and rushes for like 50 yards.
Yeah, 50 yards. So he had 30 yards receiving
31.
on 10 catches.
No, it was yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So that
and then David Montgomery.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, just to back up your point a little bit, I think that they've already, like, if the offense, if we're gonna have to wait for the offensive line to get it together, I mean, basically Dave Montgomery is gonna be obsolete in this offense until they get it together, man, because he's not that. At least Gibbs has got a quick first step. I mean, you could see he was trying to be patient and let the lanes, or try to get to the outside, and Green Bay, man, was just right there to the punch every time. You know what I'm saying? Every time he tried to make a play, you know what I mean? It was like he couldn't,
Pick that up. What you just said, we knew what it was when Montgomery went down last season towards the season and Gibbs caught fire and the Washington Commander game came, and we couldn't understand why he wasn't getting the touches he should have been getting. Yesterday, This is something which is really strange about this. He had 6%. He played 66% of the snaps in comparison to Dave Montgomery, who
Yeah.
only played 37. So they were
Yeah.
trying to get him the football. They made a conscious effort to make sure he was the focal point of offense. It just worked
Yeah.
for a variety of reasons.
Yeah. 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 I think the speed, I get the notion. Remember, it was even rumblings out of training camp that John Morton wanted to feature Gibbs and give him the rock more, you know what I'm saying, and make it kind of maybe headline Gibbs a little bit more. I think it was a right call because of the speed, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he can get to the outside and make a play and try to loosen that offense up, loosen the defense up so that they're not so aggressive. I mean, man, they were hugging the line of scrimmage, Green Bay. I mean, it was just like it was 15 guys on the line of scrimmage. It was like they was like ants. They were everywhere. You know what I mean? It was like it was more than we could block. And then we had missed assignments, and it was a snowball effect. I mean, like I said, again, I'm not the one saying the season's oh, I've seen people say that already. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Season's not over at all, not one bit. But what I can say is it just was puzzling. That's all. I mean, it's not like you hang your hat on. I think the minute this Minnesota Chicago game is over, they gonna they already focusing on the Bears, but I think it's over, man. I think it's in the rearview mirror. You always have a dud. Um, and then we got ours to the beginning of the season. Will it get better? Of course it will. You know what I mean? Whether Glasgow plays center or not, I think they'll do something to where get them some help. You know what I'm saying? You got an extra, you can put an extra blocker in there. You could get, Brock Wright to be a chipper or something. You know what I'm saying? To kind of make this, till we figure it out on our offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, it's been a while since we've ever had offensive line issues. You know what I mean? We've been kind of tight, man, for about 4 or 5 years. We haven't had any issues. Maybe one or two little issues here and there, like injuries wise, that we'd have to have, Skipper.
Corey
And I
Wright.
know Corey, Bobby Drake, Mike Barker,
It ain't getting
Patterson,
no
Corey.
easier,
What's
my
up, y'all?
guy.
I know, man. It's not going to get easier, and we realize that. That's all. And I just maybe we, at least I'll speak for myself. I don't speak for nobody else, but I mean, maybe you expecting too much. You know what I'm saying? And you think that these guys are ready to just dominate, and it's not. That's further from the case. Yeah, I mean, even like
Yeah.
tonight's game where you see Troy Aikman and
Joe Buck.
Joe Buck was what they were saying was they said that basically every team in our division made changes on defense. You know what I'm saying? Even though Minnesota was 14-3, they already had a good defense. They added 2 guys on their defensive line, man. Hargrave and
Jonathan.
it's like Jonathan Allen, and it's almost like the Lions just stood pat and say, you know what, we just gonna bring Aiden Hutchinson back, we're gonna Derek Barnes back, and everything's gonna be fine. And I get it. I mean, those guys wasn't the issue. It's not about them. That's not what I'm trying to get. What I'm saying is it's like you still have to, you're the hunted, right? So you still want to make sure the reinforcements are there on both. And it's like Frank Ragnow retiring really, really screwed us, man. That's all. Because I think, let's just say if he would have did it. Now, let me ask you a question. I can't remember, when did Frank was it before the draft? No, it was after the draft, wasn't it? Wasn't it after the
Way
draft when
after the
Frank
draft.
Ragnow retired?
It was at the
Yeah,
end of free agency.
Okay.
Wasn't it
Yeah,
like the
that's what I'm
first
saying.
week of training camp or something? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
maybe we still would have took Tate
I think
Ratledge.
it's
I mean, we
bold.
took Tate.
I think it was bold for the simple fact that we had a show about Dahlman, the center from Atlanta that signed with the Chicago Bears. If we knew he was going to leave at that point in time at the beginning of free agency, you could have went and got your free agent replacement. And then you could have went in a completely different direction in the draft, because now I got a 26-year-old center, the number 1 center that was on the free agent market. I don't have to necessarily take Ratledge and Frazier. I could still wind up taking Frazier late anyway, but maybe you don't have to take Tate Ratledge because you just signed a 26-year-old center in free agency. But I don't believe, even though I believe they knew, they had inklings that the clock was starting to wind down on Frank. But when Frank did it, I don't think they really believed Frank was going to do it right then and there.
Yeah, that's
And
all.
I think that's really what it was.
Right. And like you say, you hit the nail on the head. Well, I think that maybe because even Ryan, I think Minnesota center Ryan Kelly, I think he was a free agent from Indy too. You know what I mean? That's playing in this game tonight. So both centers that started in this game was free agent signings. And like you said, I think maybe they could have went a different way. You know what I'm saying? If they would have known, hey, I mean, I'm not knocking Frank. I mean, your body might tell you one thing when training camp starting, then you say, you know what, man, I'm done. That type of thing. So I think it was like that. Like we've been talking. I mean, you even pointed it out like last year and the year before that. You said, I don't know how long Frank gonna play. And sure enough, it was this year. You know what I mean?
We wanted Jackson Powers Johnson. And Jackson Powers Johnson is a lot of them. A lot of them. But that's neither here nor there, man. The man walked away when he wanted to walk away. But do I not believe that Miles Frazier, who you and I was very high on before the draft, after the Senior Bowl is when he kind of hopped on both of our you and our radars. Tate Ratledge, 4-year starter out of the University of Georgia, playing SEC football. Of course, I believe those guys are going to be good players, but are they ready to like hit the ground running for a team that has championship aspirations? Like they're not playing for the New York Jets or a rebuilding Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line. Like they're being asked to step into a contending playoff team's offensive line and replace a Hall of Famer, potential Hall of Famer, All-Pro and Frank Ragnow. And then Zeitler, who, regardless of how we may view Zeitler was still a good offensive lineman in this NFL. Now, is his career starting to wind down also? That's probably so, but they've got the talent. It's just going to take a minute. But you got to figure out weighing it left or right. You got to be good at something. We got to figure out, are we going to at least hammer down the pass protection, which is the smart thing because you need to protect your quarterback, or do you decide to listen, we got to get the rushing attack going first, because if we can't get the rushing attack going, we ain't going to be able to get the passing game going. But you got to figure out something got to go, because you can't keep having this imbalance. You can't keep, and to me, what that offense looked like, it looked like an offense without Ben Johnson. Like, what are you really without the trick plays? And when teams decide to say, hey, wait a minute, no, you know what? We know y'all. Oh, y'all ain't brought no new wrinkles back or nothing. Y'all just ran everything back and got the trick plays. Okay, what? We're going to bring A, going to hug the line of scrimmage. We know y'all not going vertical. St. Brown ain't going vertical. Y'all barely give Jameson Williams the opportunities downfield that he deserves with that type of speed. Khalif Raymond isn't a valid part of the offense. Tesla isn't even playing for 85% of the game.
Yeah.
We already know what Laporta is. And the route trees you kind of make it easy, especially when you have a quarterback that's not really about pushing the ball downfield. He's not a guy that's going to bail out of the pocket when things collapse and turn a sack on 3rd and 5 into a 7 or 8 yard run consistently. He's not going to do that, or get the 30-yard run or whatever and get you in enemy territory when the offense is struggling, the passing game is struggling. He's not that type of quarterback. But we know what type of quarterback he is. He's a quarterback that's going to need everything around him to consistently function at a high level. And that's not really the reality of football. What was the biggest issue Peyton Manning had his whole career? Peyton Manning could not function outside of his realm. He did not like chaos. He did not like not being able to control every aspect of the game. There's a lot of things that, in order for Jared Goff, I think, to be successful, he's going to have to overcome some things too. I think it's unfair for us to keep asking everybody around him to be perfect. He's going to have to overcome some things as well. And what did you make of his performance? I think if you just look at the statistics and didn't watch the game at all, you'll say, damn, like Goff played really well, which he did. It's like the yards per attempt, the type of throws they were. It was just so. Go ahead, because I mean, I'm trying. Interested to hear what you really thought about the overall performance from him.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think that. Is Goff limited? Yes. Was he the reason why we lost the game? No. I mean,
No.
it's just he was the reason why we lost the game at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he threw a pick. I think he threw a bad interception, man. But no, I'm gonna say this. It was a good. My man Evan Williams from Boston College, damn good corner, man. You know what I'm saying? Slot guy. Jumped the route, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a damn good play by him. The Goff was good, man. I mean, I don't think that
he didn't cost us the game.
I'm not
he didn't make
use
any game-changing plays, though.
No. And I think, and I'm gonna just stand up for him for this week because he didn't have any time, Walt. He didn't, man. I mean, every time he wanted to throw, and it was like it was nothing there. Like even when Micah got the sack on him at the end, it was nothing there. I mean, it was not. I mean, he's not the kind of guy that's gonna throw it in a tight window like that. You know what I'm saying? Goff is like, this play's got to go this way. This guy, is open. He's not going to try to force the ball in there or anything, unless it's St. Brown because he trusts St. Brown. But that's it, man. That's the far as it's going. And I'm cool with that because Goff he has the IQ. He is smart enough to make the right decision. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not going to use his physicality against him. We know he's limited. He's not going to scramble or anything like that. Or, he's fine. I mean, I just believe that we could win with this version of Jared Goff as a Detroit Lion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was yesterday. I just think it was a juggernaut, man. You got 8 people hugging the line of scrimmage. They were energized. Hell, if I was playing quarterback behind the offensive line, I wouldn't be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if Jordan Love was playing behind off, he wouldn't be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Well, I just think it doesn't matter who's back there quarterback.
A little bit more.
If you don't trust,
it matters.
Yeah,
well,
that's true.
It matters for certain guys.
Yeah.
Well, for certain guys, it doesn't
certain
matter.
guys.
We saw 2 of them
Lamar,
last night.
We seen Josh Allen. Put on Superman. Yeah, Josh Allen put a Superman cape on and won that boy. You know what I'm saying?
That's my boy, man.
But
that's my boy.
Yeah, he a G, man. He a G. But we have what we have in him. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't gonna change. So you gotta be. I mean,
that don't sound like a ringing endorsement, man.
I'm just saying.
Jared's a good quarterback. I don't want people thinking that we trash him. We know Jared Goff is a good quarterback, but
yes, of course he is.
Are there limitations for how? When you take a look around the NFL on a weekly basis and see how some of these games unfold, and it just makes you wonder, like, okay, if the offensive line does have an off game, seriously just cook that? And that's unfair to really put that type of pressure on your offensive line, man. Because time we lose, you're gonna blame them. You're never gonna blame him because the offensive line is going to be the scapegoat responsibility because that he can't move. So we need you to stay perfect every week. That's not cool. Like, I done heard people trashing Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell is probably the overall second or third best player on your entire offense, regardless of position. He's a tackle. He's entitled to have an off game or a few plays where another all-pro beats him. A bum wasn't out there beating him. Parsons had a couple moves on him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I'm confident that the guys will play better. The only red flag I told you is Glasgow for me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of
Because I
course.
don't know if he's got another switch. Yeah, Ratledge is a young up and Tate Ratledge is gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? Mahogany's gonna get better. Though those two guys are fine. I mean, I hopefully don't take the whole season. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, for guard, if Glasgow's going to continue to play
Trey.
guard, they're going to have to figure out what up though, Trey. They really going to have to change up like the blocking scheme because I think it was on Instagram where it look. I don't know if you said. I thought I sent it to you. I forgot who it was. It might have been Wooten, 96 for the Packers was unblocked on that. Remember they had us backed up,
Yeah.
but goal line could have been a safety. And on that play, Ratledge and Glasgow just blew the guy up to the left, but the A gap was left clear. You know what I'm saying? To me, and it was nobody. I think it might have been Quay Walker or Devontae White. Somebody made the tackle on Montgomery, which what I'm saying was that play is correctable. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna look at that on tape and say, dude, who the hell was supposed to guard the A gap? You know what I'm saying? Like next time, I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I think like Campbell was saying, press conference, I think some things are correctable and they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you look at it
Yeah.
like that and in the X's and O's term. For me to answer, I think if somebody asked a question, I think good question, Corey. Do you think I think yes, to answer your question, I think that he can get the job done with what's around him. That you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, he's gonna be the quarterback of this team, you know what I'm saying, as it's constructed right now. So yes, I do think. Just think if that interception for remember Brian Branch got the interception, it was a penalty or something like that. Let's just say they don't call that. Let's just say that's a straight up interception. Let's just say Anzalone catches that ball and don't drop it. I mean, Jordan Love would have 2 picks. You know what I mean? It's just like the defense is take for me. Our defense doesn't make plays like that, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know what I'm saying? Like Kirby Joseph was like the only guy that had multiple interceptions. I think Branch might have had 2 or 3 last year, but what I'm saying is we need more production of getting those loose balls to get our offense the ball back. If we're struggling, we got to get more cracks at it. We can't get 4 drives a half and then we sputter on 3 of them and then we get a field goal on 1 that's not going to cut. That's 3 points and a half. It's not going to cut it, man. We really do need our defense to kind of bail us out a little bit. You know, that's why for me it's frustrating watching our defense because I'm like, can we just make a play? Can somebody strip sack somebody, or can we, can we get a pick? Can we slap the ball out the quarterback? It's just something, man. It's just like the offense carried us last year. Scoring 45 points, 35 points a game. It's just like when it comes down to it,
In
the
competition,
playmakers
that
on
ain't going against though.
man. Listen, I'm trying to win. When the offense ain't working, I expect the defense to look at the Rams yesterday. The Rams kind of sputtered all day, and then when they had to make a play, they made a play on defense, got the ball back, and won that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? They did. They didn't look great doing it, but sometimes in the ebbs and flow of a football game, they have just zero pass rush, and to me, the more the biggest letdown was the offense though yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Because the defense, what they held they held the water like in the second half. I mean, they really stopped them boys when we needed them to. They did have some
Yeah.
key stops, so that was the one bright spot with the whole
They
game
kept the
because you could
game in
see the
striking
defense.
distance.
Yeah, yep. And it was just like, man, if the offense can just string together, I think the longest pass was 33 yards. I think it was Laporta caught a nice one down the seam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a nice play. So I'm looking for Laporta to bounce back, have a nice season. You know what I'm saying? Seems like when your offense is struggling, you go to your sure-handed tight end, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Laporta is going to get his number called a lot, come moving forward because we need him. We struggling. What way to, stop a pass rush from coming to kill your quarterback is to get those outlet passes to Gibbs. I think that's what they was trying to do, Walt. I think the dump off pass to Gibbs wasn't working. You know what I mean? Because usually last year you give it to Gibbs and it's curtains, bro. That first guy ain't gonna get him. Yesterday they hung on and got him. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, actually, well, before I get to the question about another player, so Trey asked this question, which piggybacks off what you was originally talking about in regards to Jared Goff, which was, I think, it was Corey Patterson's question. Goff is not the guy, and they know that they're locking all their homegrown talent in so they can draft a quarterback for the future. Just my opinion. All right, so everybody knows my true opinion of Jared Goff. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's one of those guys where we remember what happened with the Kansas City Chiefs before Patrick Mahomes got there. And, Alex Smith was a good quarterback. They won playoff games with Alex Smith. They went 11-6 with Alex Smith, and they still chose eventually to move on from Alex Smith because Andy Reid, who had pretty much was homegrown with greatness, he was on a team with Green Bay. He had Michael Vick. Like, this is a guy that knows what his type of quarterback should be. He had Donovan McNabb. He's all one of athletic, big arm quarterbacks. That's what he saw in Patrick Mahomes. That's what he went for. I'm a firm believer, and this is why the Indianapolis Colts risked the entire farm before overall for Anthony Richardson, because historically, outside of Peyton and Tom Brady, with the physical traits and are the ones who win. Typically, you have to have something elite about you as a quarterback, whether it's your mobility, it's your arm, your ability to play off schedule. That's at least a couple things that made Caleb Williams very, very popular coming out, and guys like Michael Vick and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, the guys with all the tools. Now, every now and then you have a guy like a Peyton Manning, a once in a lifetime type of quarterback, or a Tom Brady, a guy who comes from a 6th round pick. Guy was lost his job to Drew Henson at the University of Michigan, and then went on to be perhaps the greatest quarterback of all time. Those are kind of like pipe dreams. But the Andrew Lucks, the John Elways, like the Dan Marinos, all of those guys had skill sets and traits. It's hard to, in this day and age in the NFL, I think, with as talented as everybody's rosters are. And that's one thing that kind of stood out to me from Sunday. Everybody's got talent. Even if the offenses were struggling, they were struggling with talented guys. The defenses have talent. The talent level at cornerback, edge rusher, defensive tackle alone in this NFL is crazy right now. And it's hard to run a non-mobile quarterback out there in this day and age where you got defensive ends running 4.46s. And you got defensive tackles out there broad jumping 11 feet. Every position on the football field has improved over the entire, as far as the history of the NFL. So what would make people think that the quarterback position from an athletic standpoint doesn't have to improve? If everybody around you is getting more athletic, if everybody around you is getting faster, bigger, stronger, what makes you think the statue quarterback can just continue to just stay there and he doesn't have to evolve? And I just think that when you running a really tight game, you're trying to win based off of, we're going to manage the game with you. Everybody on the offensive line, y'all going to get 31 rushes. We're going to run for over 148 yards. Jared Goff is going to get his 27 pass attempts. Like, that's not going to happen every game. And the worse you look, the more film there is out there on you looking bad. If they look bad against Chicago with the same type of stuff offensively, and we just talking about the offense right now, Baltimore is going to be licking their chops. The rest of the league's going to be licking their chops. Because you only as good as your last game. Until you prove you're good, I'm going to pretty much assume your ass. If they go out there and they're ass against Chicago, Baltimore's going to assume their ass too. So you eventually going to have to stand and play better football on the offensive side of the ball, man. There's already a reputation out there about Jared Goff. You got to debunk a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, huge.
But I do want to ask you something. I want to ask you something real quick, man, because let me get rid of this chat right here. I'm gonna get right back to you guys in a second, everybody's comments. But I do want to get into Aiden Hutchinson for a second.
Yeah.
Because all zeros. I didn't have any expectations out of him, honestly. If he would have sack or something, it would have been to see it, from a momentum point. But first back, I want to see what did his snap count look like. Give me 1 second. Aiden Hutchinson.
Hutchinson. Yeah, it's a good comment by
won't take but a second.
Trey Finesse and
but yeah, at the
travel. I agree with that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Walt. I was just reading the comment.
Yep. All right. So
yeah, what's up, A-Dub?
No, you good. You good. Okay, so all right, so he played 96%, 6 snaps yesterday. He got 1 QB hit. It was good seeing him out there still moving on. Now, were they double teaming him and chipping him a whole lot? Yeah, they were.
Yep.
If you look at the Micah Parsons played, he had some one-on-ones. They also double teamed him too, so it's not getting a whole bunch of one-on-ones with our tackles or whatever. And it's hard to really do that in this day and age. Not too many offensive lines are really running a whole lot of man-on-man consistently. There's usually some zone and some man, some all zone, or pretty much a mixture, both mixed in there. So it's difficult to really just, as an edge rusher in this day and age, the NFL just line up and get to the quarterback. So I thought he moved around well. I didn't think he had the bend at all, which was kind of expected. No, did you expect him to come back from what he came back from with that same type of bend, getting around the edge? No, but it was good to see him play that many snaps, and never once did I say, nah, he don't look right. He looked stiff and a little bit rusty, but he hasn't played since the Dallas game from last year. What did you think about him, his performance?
Yeah, I thought, he was active. He didn't do much, man. As far as he tried to get, put his hands up, a couple of times and got, got his hand on Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying? I think Jordan Love did feel some footsteps, that type of thing, him coming, but it was just like he was a step too slow. You know what I'm saying? Not him in general. I just think the cover, I think the protection. I mean, they made it their business, man, to double team Hutchinson. You know what I'm saying? That was obvious. That was the frustrating thing about it, was like, because you knew if Hutchinson couldn't, like, if he wasn't getting the sack, nobody else was. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want Hutch to get there, and then when Hutch don't get there, it's like ain't nobody getting there. That's the problem. That's the frustrating, and I know, and I hear it, man, and I hear what everybody's saying, and I watch 4 or 5 games this weekend, and it's almost like, I'm gonna just say, it's almost like the Lions the only team that had this problem, man. From the teams that I've watched, every game I've watched, they've had 2 pass rushers on each team, right? I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna say it like that. Every team.
Well, let me ask you this though: out of all the good teams, which we're one of them, we played the worst though. Like the Chiefs lost, but they didn't look as bad as us.
Yeah.
The Ravens lost. They looked bad defensively. I was shocked that the Ravens looked that bad, but they didn't look as bad as us. Our contenders, the teams that are expected to be like the top of echelon teams, we looked the worst. Tampa looked pretty good yesterday. The Rams had their issues, but
great.
They still Yeah, but they didn't look
Yeah.
as bad as us though. Like
Yeah, they didn't look as
we
bad
look
as
bad
us. I
every
think their
game.
defense. Yeah.
I think the
A-
defense
And
is gonna
and,
be
and
fine.
that's what I because
Mhm.
this is why I say that. I mean, as far as like I think, like you said, we'll be fine because I think we got guys like Brian Branch take it personal. You know what I'm saying? I think we got guys like uh Jack Campbell gonna take it personal. You know what I'm saying? And these guys gonna come out and play. I think Talik Williams was active. You know what I'm saying? He was another guy that was battling out there. I mean, DJ Reader didn't do
Yeah.
much. You know what I'm saying? I think he kind of got his hand up a couple times, made a couple tackles, stuff like that. I think Terran Arnold was very disappointed. I was very, very upset with Terran Arnold, man. DJ Reed looked out of position. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just nitpicking on some things that I picked up on. You know what I mean? But the pass rush was the issue, man. And it's like we always kicking the can. Why can't we like just admit it, man? We're not good enough. Like with the other side of it, and we're not going to be an upper echelon team if we don't get that part of the team fixed. I mean, I don't understand like why we can't say it in this, in this media outlet. No one wants to say like everybody knows Davenport. Putting your faith in Davenport is like not much, okay? But we haven't addressed it. So how do you even fathom, right? How do you even fathom being better than we were last year? You know what I'm saying? You can't even get a sack. You can't
Yeah.
get one sack. So how are you better? The answer the question. I mean, not you. I'm not talking to you. I'm saying
No, I mean,
when we
listen, man.
looking at
I
this
agree
team,
1000%. In
you
this
know,
day and age, the NFL is kind of silly to not be able to get a sack. You can fall into a
yeah,
sack,
right. And it
but
just doesn't make any sense, man. That's the part that's frustrating. And then when I say that, and then we see the game we saw yesterday. That's all. You know what I mean? That's all. I mean, every game is not going to end up like yesterday's game. I'm looking like tonight. I'm looking at Chicago. You know, they just got a pick six for a touchdown. And they got multiple guys with
and their
sacks
defense
tonight.
is better.
Yeah,
Their defense is
multiple
better than
guys.
Green
I mean,
Bay's.
we don't have any guys like that on our team, man. We don't. You know what I mean? They try our guys. You know what I mean? You bringing up snaps, they play every snap. They play 67 snaps, but they ain't
And
no
hey,
sacks.
it ain't gonna give you no production.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's
Ain't no
too.
forced
Like, cause
fumbles. Yeah.
Tyleek played well,
No,
and
I'm
you
just
talked
being
about it a little while
he
ago.
did. He did.
He did his
Yeah, he did.
job.
Jack Campbell play. I love Jack Campbell.
Yeah,
Jack Campbell make the right play every time. He right there in position.
he a
He
tackle
if
machine.
he get a guy, yep, he'll tackle. He not gonna miss no tackles or anything. So he's fine. You know, Derek Barnes played well. I thought Derek Barnes was in there. Anzalone should have made that interception. Period. He
I-
should have caught the ball. Should have made an interception. But I'm just saying, you picking things out. The defense wasn't the reason why we lost. That's when you get back to the
right.
offensive line really just made it feel deflating because of how bad they played. You know what I'm saying? Now, next week, I expect I expect this game to be in the rearview mirror. A lot of guys gonna get put on blast, I would imagine, in game tape study. You know, this week they're gonna say,
Yeah,
"Dude, look at you on this. Look at you on it. Look at 60 on
yeah.
this. Look at 69 on this. You know what I mean? Look at number 6 on this. Got pick play. Dentavious Wicks stood there like a
What you
statue
laughing
and
at,
took
14?
Terran out. Yeah, right. Yeah, what you know what I'm saying? Look at number
Yeah.
5. Oh, he running like he got a weight belt on. Look at oh man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It just
Listen, man, I want to go
I
through some
totally
names
expect
real
us to
quick.
play better.
I want to go through some
Yeah.
names real quick because we've been talking about this lack of pass rush, and this is kind of what you tried out there. Now, I do think this. You could potentially start using Derek Barnes more pass rush wise.
Yeah,
Is he the
I
best
like it.
at
And
it?
I used
No,
to talk my
but he
language.
has some. Yeah, he had some
Yeah.
success last year. But
Yeah.
I think DJ Reader and Tyleek Williams did what their jobs were. Demand a double team on the inside of the offensive line and make sure you guys on the outside can get home. But then there were times where, from a blocking scheme standpoint, Green Bay said, no, y'all not going to do that. So we going to, since y'all can't, and that was the major problem I think that we had yesterday. Green Bay did the complete opposite against our defensive line. No, you know what? Hutchinson and Davenport, boy, you just coming back from a hurt leg, and boy, you always hurt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna double your defensive tackles, and then we're gonna see if y'all can handle it. And nobody can handle it. So, but that goes back to your point. You ain't got no other playmaker within that front seven. As much as I like Jack Campbell, do I think Jack Campbell is that big time Brian Urlacher, what's everybody's favorite linebacker from the Carolina Panthers, Luke Kuechly and Ray Lewis and yeah, but he's a tackle machine. He makes the right play. He's smart.
Yeah.
He can get sideline to sideline. Is Jack going to make game-changing big-time plays?
Yeah.
He hasn't yet. He was a big-time game-changing player at Iowa, so maybe that'll eventually transfer over to the NFL. But man, listen, we were talking about James Pierce 5 months. Like, they desperately need another playmaker in that front seven.
Yeah,
Aleem
Corey
McNeil
Wright,
is
that's
dominant as hell when Aleem plays.
Mhm.
But if you
Yeah.
can't play consistently, I can't really take you serious. They need somebody else, whether it's an outside linebacker, an edge rusher, a true defensive end, Aaron Donald, Chris Jones. I'm still down for another defensive tackle. If it's the right type of defensive tackle, a penetrating 3-tech, yeah. But yeah, man, is the defense.
Yeah.
It looked like a Aaron Glenn defense kind of yesterday. How they started slow early and then they kind of settled in. And as bad as the team played overall, the game was still in striking distance. That's why I can't blame the defense for it. I got to blame the offense. And I agree with you on that because it was still a 17-6 game at one point in time, midway through the third. So the game was still there for y'all to steal it. Y'all just couldn't make any plays. That was the whole point. And that was disappointing about it because the offense with Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I'm going to throw his name in there now too, Isaac Tesla, and Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs, y'all are held under 10 points for 3 quarters.
Unacceptable. Yeah, unacceptable.
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
I don't give a damn
I
who the
don't care
offensive coordinator is. You ain't
what what the scheme is. It's unacceptable with that much firepower. You should score more. Like you said, they scored a late touchdown. That don't even mean nothing. Like you said, 6 points in 3 3.75 of a quarter. So 3/4 of a game. So in that regard, I think they're gonna take more pride, and I think they will play better this week. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree really well. I was just telling Walt, I see Chicago's defensive line just like Green Bay's, and if they try to bull rush, dude, them guys they getting through tonight, and
with better corners,
Minnesota,
with better corners.
Yeah. Jalen Johnson, he out tonight. He didn't play, or Kyler Gordon don't play. That's how much they don't really respect JJ yet, because both they starting corners is out, and they got a pick 6 already from JJ. But yeah, I agree with Willie Walsh. They're gonna be in trouble, man. If they don't, you cannot just disregard
not in
the
a home
center
opener
position, and hopefully, what I'm thinking is it's going to be a shootout type game. I think it's going to be a bunch of points, and that's how we're going to have to win, man. Because if our defense is able to get some pressure, then now we talking. You know what I mean? Now I like the idea of what you said about Derek Barnes maybe being a de facto pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? Move him up and down the line type. We and then somebody mentioned Pat O'Connor, and it's like, really? Come on, man. You know what I mean? Where you got to rely on that's when you're in trouble, So let me ask you this. I mean, do you think right now has the outlook changed on this team for you? What I mean is, I'm not even thinking. It's just game by game right now. I'm not even gonna go and say, I always say, like, win the division. Your first goal as a team is to win the division. I don't even think, not saying you don't want to win. I'm just saying, like, and trust me, if we go out and beat the Bears, regardless of what they do tonight, and then next Sunday, I think everything will be gone, forgotten. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't win next week, I think, man, people really got to just start being realistic. You know what I'm saying, with this team, and maybe it's not the Super Bowl like right now. Let's not even talk. Not that
Right,
I
I
don't
get you.
want that. You know what I'm saying? But
It's
let's
huge
not.
though.
I hear.
That game
I
is
keep
huge.
hearing people say the Lions are a Super Bowl team. They're a Super Bowl roster. They got Super Bowl aspirations. They got Super Bowl. And it's like, don't even think about that right now. We got bigger problems. We need a center. You know what I'm saying? We need another pass rusher. That's what we should be worried about. I mean, as a team right now, you ain't sniffing this. You ain't sniffing the division if you don't get that stuff figured out. So
I'm gonna say is what I'm concerned about. I don't want it without getting too deep off into Sunday at 1 o'clock against Chicago.
yeah,
That place gonna be juiced up. And I
yeah,
think what's gonna happen is whichever team can control their emotions best. Because it's an emotional, physical game. I already know it is. And I worry
yeah,
about the Lions because y'all got more interested in it because all Ben Johnson can do is stand on the other sideline with a play sheet in front of his face and make calls. Y'all out there hitting. Y'all the ones out talking, saying talk mess after plays to him. All this, like, he knows y'all. He knows Kirby Joseph, knows Brian Branch, he knows Hutchinson. He knows everybody on your offense as well. So he's kind of got the upper hand on a lot of this right now. So I'm just concerned about this
yeah,
team from an emotional standpoint. Are y'all gonna be too high wired and too high strung and fall behind 0-2? Because we keep going back to the this isn't the season to start slow. It's not. And if you start 0-2,
yeah,
that's damn near like start 0-4 because you lost divisional opponents. And
yeah.
for
Right.
damn sure though, I'm
Yeah,
changed.
Chicago.
No, because I don't envision every game this season being nowhere near like no. If they don't take this learning curve and don't make it as steep and flatten this boy out some, you find yourself 1-4 and you cook. Damn, like I said, who you play season. Everybody's got talent. With this team last season, what happened? What was the discussion last season before the season started? Man, look when our bye week is. We gotta play. We gotta play all these games before the bye. We're gonna be cooked. That team
Yeah,
had lost by their bye week, and that was the Tampa Bay. So
yeah,
maybe they can catch fire late. Maybe they, what I'm saying, they skating on thin ice with the roster that
yeah,
they brought back. The
yeah.
Bears ain't playing around. That defense is better overall in Green Bay, at least based off you saw
Mm-hmm.
last season. But I want to get your thoughts real quick on Bay because I do want to give them some credit because
Yeah,
they played a damn
yeah,
good game. Um, Jordan Love didn't have massive stats, but if this is the version of Jordan Love that we're gonna get from Green Bay, and those receivers he have.
yep,
Is anybody have George Pickens, a CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase? No. He got 4 6-foot dudes who can all run and get downfield. And what I like about them
yeah,
offensively is there is no designated JMO.
mm-hmm.
Everybody, when they go three, when they go spread, they do 3x1s, 2x2s, whatever they do. All 4 of those dudes have the speed to get downfield. That was another issue we had a team like Green Bay with that many offensive weapons as far as on the perimeter speed wise, give us problems. I wouldn't be shocked if what the game is going to look like, things been, or what the rosters are going to look like. It wouldn't surprise me, and I'm just saying this, man, if the next game looked close to that. Because to me, and we didn't have any expectations in this Rake Straw anyway. But Carlton Davis left via free agency. We still don't agree that they did enough to really upgrade the cornerback room. Avonte Maddox and Rocky Ya-Sin and like career journeymen. Maddox he's been hurt everywhere he's been. Rocky Ya-Sin has been a decent pro everywhere he's been. He's never stuck anywhere. Like, you can't keep taking premium positions like cornerback and edge rusher and feeling that you can just fill them with anybody with some cheap labor and maybe somebody a hit. When your opponents are getting Micah Parsons and Jonathan Allens and like teams ain't playing around, man. Look at that Chargers roster. You and I were Chargers. Look at that Charger roster, man.
Devion Henley supposed to be a Lion. You know what I'm saying, dude? That's what I mean, man.
And you're talking about Roy Lopez.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it's Roy Lopez.
You trying to sell us on Roy Lopez, though.
Yeah, and then what I'm gonna talk about Jordan Love is the Packers, man. It's like Josh Jacobs really didn't even really have to make an impact, even though we stopped the run pretty good. You know what I mean? That part of it, that's why I give DJ Ritter some credit because he was in there battling, to stop the run up the middle, that type of thing. So we did do that, decently, enough to stay in that game. But Jordan Love, he had 188 yards passing, I think it was. It wasn't, like you said, a great, and I like how you put it at the beginning of the show. We was talking about it. He didn't have to do anything great. He just made the plays when he had to. That touchdown pass he threw. The first one he threw was, man, that one of Tucker Kraft. He put that bad boy on the money. You know what I'm saying? It came out quick, fast, right where it needed to be. So, I like the mentality of my quarterback knowing that he can play free. And I think now getting Micah Parsons, I think that they feel like they can get the ball back, on a 3 and out. They feel like their defense is opportunistic enough where they can get them the ball back. You know what I'm saying? If they behind, no lead is going to be safe for Green Bay. They really impressed me. Like I said, it's one game, but that's how you will. They got the perfect scenario right now. You know what I'm saying? It looks good right now because obviously they got Micah and they got the momentum. They got the first win. They look dominant. You know what I'm saying? But it's a reason why you go out and you get a guy like Micah Parsons. I think that can make everybody else more comfortable, man. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I think that just makes I think I told you the best a good quarterback is a comfortable quarterback. And any quarterback that knows he's got stability, knows he's got a good defense, I think you can go out there and be free. I think that's what Caleb Williams realized that he don't have to be Superman out there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we being honest about Green Bay too. That's a nice position group, bro.
Yeah,
like
and Matthew
Josh
Golden.
Jacobs and Matthew Golden and Jordan Reed and Joshua Dobbs. And they got two really good young tight ends. Yeah, Dontavius Wicks too. They got two really good young, super tall tight ends. Like they're loaded. They're loaded, and all it takes is a talented quarterback to play better. If we compare Jared Goff and Caleb Williams, they get criticized for the complete opposite things. Jared Goff, you're too in structure, and you can't play out of structure, and you can't improvise, and players are dead with you if they don't go right. Caleb is great out of structure, great in chaos. Can't play within the realms of the offense. Well, at least for what we saw from him as a rookie. We all know what Caleb ultimately is going to look like at the end of this season, but Willie Ross says we beating the Ravens here. Willie Ross also said, I don't like Brad, I want him gone. Willie, if you message us back, I want to see if you're serious about that. I don't. The man does more good than bad. I'm gonna just say that. Do I believe in every single move that he makes? Absolutely not. I'm a grown man with his own thoughts and opinions and views on football. But I do think that the failure, and I think it's cool to say failure, it's accurate to say failure right now, of the 2024 draft class is a problem. Because the reaches you took in that draft, nobody from the 2024 class is doing the damn thing, honestly. Terrion's out there because Terrion was a first round pick. If Terrion was a third round pick, Terrion would be benched right now. And I'm not saying he necessarily deserves to be benched, but the leash would be a lot shorter with him. They don't have anything. They don't have any choice right now but to sink or swim with him. You invested the first round pick in him. What you gonna do? Who are you gonna bench him for? So he has to sink or swim this season, and he's stayed relatively healthy, but there are positions on the field that you. And we talked about this before, and shout out to Spirit of Detroit because he brought this up to me a long time ago, man, about Brad Holmes, his philosophies. There are certain skill positions, not just skill position, but there are certain positions on the field, on the team that he's just not going to pay a high premium to. And cornerback is one of those positions. Safeties. He'll pay his defensive tackles. Everybody pays the quarterback. He's proven he'll pay wideouts. He done paid 2 already. It's up to them whether or not they're going to pay Jahmyr Gibbs. You know, we already talking about what they're going to pay Aiden Hutchinson. They may feel like they never may need to do that as far as upgrading the other edge position opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. Maybe they feel like they can just keep plugging different guys in. I don't think that's ultimately going to work, but I think the biggest failure, and we can talk about this too at a later date on another show, because we love sitting down with y'all and breaking all this down. How much of the failures of this team right now, at least the issues we've noticed during the offseason, and like you said, it's not over with. This was only 1 week, but you know, there was some issues that they had, and we just talking about them. That's it. How better off? Sure. How much weight does the 2024 draft class hold in your opinion? Because if we have 4 guys from that class, playing well right now, maybe we will be a whole lot better if 3 of those guys be good players right now.
Yeah, who was it? Wingo, Vaki, Manu, and Terrion, right? That was basically
Ennis Rakestraw.
Ennis Rakestraw, that's what it was. Ennis Rakestraw. Yeah, I remember the draft vivid because it was here. I remember it because when we took Vaki and then we turned around and took Manu, I was there when we made the picks, and I'm like, who the heck is Manu, Giovanni Manu? And somebody I remember in the comments told me who he was. I knew who Vaki was. I watched a little bit of Utah football. You know, I was originally thought Vaki was going to be a safety, though, you know what I'm saying, at the time. But, you know, obviously he wound up being a running back. But yeah, like you said, Walt, we didn't get no production out of that. Even Mekhi Wingo was hurt, right? I mean, I haven't even he
was the only one that to me gave us good play. The problem with him was all the big fellas, all of his protection around him got hurt outside of DJ Reader, and he was leaned on too much. And physically, he only would, but because Mekhi's 6'285", if I'm not mistaken, and you asking him to hold up at nose tackle and 3 tech and he just couldn't do it.
Yep. You're right, Trey. Yep. And I just think I just think that, man, not getting a Zach Frazier in the draft, not getting I remember Chase Lund was another guy from UConn, another offensive lineman you passed on like the 3rd or 4th round last year. You took Tesla, and I think Lund was still there, if I'm not mistaken. That was a guy on the offensive line. Zach Frazier from West Virginia. I remember. Yeah, remember Chase Lund from UConn? Walt? Him. And, we got Miles Frazier, so I was happy about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off. I wanted Nick Skirton real bad. I mean, we passed on a bunch of those young pass rushers, man. I thought that could help us in times like these. You know what I'm saying right now. So, yeah. And Willie, I respect his opinion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their opinion, and that's cool. And he's right. Yep. And I really thought I'm gonna say this. I think we were so bad for so long as an organization. Like the Lions were, everybody know the Lions are bad before Brad Holmes got here, and let's be honest, it wasn't no players here basically. Even
Nope.
it's just ironic now because one of the guys that we moved that moved on from us was Ragnow, and it wasn't Holmes' pick to begin with. So he kind of got away with not picking a center, saying to unseat Ragnow, you know what I mean? And that wasn't his draft pick to begin with. So you would have thought, like Willie said, that hey, maybe we should get another center in here, like not to take Ragnow's job, but just a guy. See, like Philly did it with Cam Jurgens with Kelsey, right? Remember they took Cam Jurgens and was sort of like this is going to be his understudy, that type of thing. Instead of trying to get an undrafted free agent from, what's the kid from Florida? Start with an E. That's on our roster. He's a center that's on our roster.
I ain't gonna butcher his name.
Yeah, I ain't gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but I can't pronounce his name. Ikuban or something like that. But it's almost like we haven't got backups or players in key spots like we need to. So I can see the frustration there, man. I know Mike Barker, right? I was ready to go to the bar yesterday, man, after seeing that game.
Mike, it's too late. Call an Uber.
I know. I got to work in the morning. No, but look, y'all in the comment section, to me, this is how I felt. It felt like yesterday was a preseason game. That's how I felt to me. Like we approached it like if we lose, we just gonna figure out on the fly what the hell we gonna need to work on. That's how it felt to me. And get back to Brad Holmes. I had this point in my head. Like Brad Holmes is the guy that has did some good because we were just in the doldrums of like no one wanted to come here, coach here, be the GM here, that type of thing. So now we back to respectability under Brad Holmes, and now it's almost like it's at a crossroads now. Like Howie Roseman has shown him like how to elevate. Yeah, how to elevate it, and it's almost like Brad Holmes doesn't like. He's just playing it safe. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to ruin it. He don't want to like do anything to put us in salary cap hell. He doesn't want to, and trust me, you don't want a GM to be reckless, man, but just being safe is not going to cut it, man. That's all I'm saying. Because for me, it doesn't, the money ain't an object. Draft picks ain't an object. I mean, man, when you get a guy you want, when you cue in on the guy that you want, go get him. It almost just feel like he's just being safe, and we just happy that we not the 0-16. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like we need like more. You know what I'm saying? We the 2-time division champs, right? So we didn't even do anything to kind of like hold the reinforcements. You know what I'm saying? Because we know everybody on you, everybody coming for us, right? So you would think like, man, instead of having 10 guys hold the fence up, let's get 15 guys to hold the fence up now. Now we got more reinforcement because the people on the other side of the fence, they got more. They got 20 guys trying to knock the fence down. We got our same 10 guys. They good guys. They all good. Great character, great family man. They don't talk shit. Everybody good, right? But they not. But the 20 on the other side wall is trying to knock that 10 the wall down, man. We need some more help on that wall, man. Period. And I don't think that it's gonna happen this year. Who you gonna get, right? Because the draft you just named the draft picks that didn't work, so we can't lean on any young guys from 2024.
Yeah, I mean,
Rakestraw,
oh yeah,
hey,
he may never play for us, but knowing his
yeah,
history, he may be here for 4 years with messing around with Brad Holmes. But
right,
the it's
right. And then the game, like even Ralphie agreed with me. What's up, Ralph? I mean, it's almost like that's how I felt with the game. It's almost like it was like a dress rehearsal. Like they just said F it. And we just gonna see how this turn out. We gonna run these vanilla plays, and it's just we gonna see if it worked. And if it don't, then like okay, now we got something to put some tape on. And it was just like it was just weird.
All right, Corey, man. Say we in 3 years we didn't caught Brad Holmes caught up with Kwame Kilpatrick. Man, let's not hope the one black GM we get turns out to be like that. But no, I do feel like, and people say, because he came from the Rams and he learned under Les Snead and everything. He may have learned under Snead, but he's on man. All these guys, when they decide to branch off and go get their own organizations, ultimately their own thoughts and views on football and policies are going to take over. And this is who I believe he's not going to rock the boat. He's going to pay his guys. But the thing is this, what's dangerous about his philosophy, every year after year, you find yourself in a situation where if you're going to base your roster off draft development and retain, that means that you have to be hitting on every year 6 to 10 players, or at the least 3. You can't have a draft where all 7 picks bust out. That's going to set you back poorly, and then it finds yourself in a situation where you have the 2025 draft where now you got to reach in certain positions. Like Giovanni Manu, does it startle you that he's still, I mean, I get it, all lines are set, continuity, he wasn't going to, but he's still even able to play 2 rookies, and these are young men with SEC experience in Miles Frazier and
Tate
Ratledge playing at LSU in Georgia. But Giovanni Manu, you couldn't beat out the rookies. Not to say that he had to, but it's another wasted pick. And you traded all the way up to get a guy that was unanimous around the NFL wasn't going to be drafted. You traded up to get a guy that wasn't going to be drafted. It's bad, man. Like I said, but the 2024 draft was bad so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and then for everybody that says that, they say, well, what about 2023? What about 2020? You know what I'm saying? We hit on those picks. And no one said that's why I think that Brad Holmes is a good GM. I mean, you don't hit on the Branch and Laporta picks and, trade for JMO, trade up for Jahmyr Gibbs. And, it just, he's done way more good than bad, just how you put it. So I'm not going to sit here and say, but 24 just was a throwaway draft, man. And we need it right now. It'd have been nice to have, dude, Devion Henley would look real good in a Lions uniform. Linebacker for the edge rusher for the Chargers would look nice passed on him. You know what I'm saying? I keep bringing up Nick Skirton. What's the kid from Baltimore that's going to tear Mike Green?
James
Just guys
Pierce.
that James Pierce that was there, and it wouldn't have cost you anything, rookie contract. It just was too much like right, man. And then for you to draft, like you said, Manu, I don't even count him on the roster, man. I really don't. I don't see any future for him on our team. I mean, I don't even see him suiting up. I don't even see him out there. Well, I mean, I can't even count on a guy that I don't even see play. You know what I mean? He like Broderick Martin was, you know. So for me, you know me, I'm out on the whole prospect thing anyway because I feel like, JJ, oh my goodness, I kind of root for the Vikings to win. That was a good throw by JJ. All right, 17-13. If the extra point Bears winning. But I'm tired of the project thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's hurting us right now. You know what I'm saying? The project. Can you get me a for sure guy that's gonna play? Not a guy that you got to sit on the sideline with three other coaches and teach him how to block or teach him how to hike the ball or teach him how to read defenses or teach him. No, man.
Or
Can you
teach them
give me
how to stay
somebody that's
healthy.
yeah,
Like,
can you give me a guy that's ready to play? Is that too much to ask? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
I don't think we remember the 22 draft. I mean 23 the 2023 draft. It's just that when your philosophy is I pay my own.
you know,
You outsiders, if you want to come here, you got to play for peanuts. When that's your
yeah,
philosophy, you find yourself in a situation where you have to hit every single year. Like
yeah,
that's the thing. What do most teams in the NFL do when they decide, you know what, around January we don't like this draft class? So what we're gonna do is to make sure we make our team better for next year. We're gonna hit free agency. We're gonna get us some
yeah,
we're gonna get our upgrades in free agency. When
yeah,
you decide to not attack free agency and you just betting on 22-year-olds and 23-year-olds and 24-year-olds,
yeah,
and you're every year after year, you're taking these 23-year-olds, you're telling them, okay, go play championship level football for us. They're
yeah,
gonna make mistakes. They did nothing in free agency this year. So what's gonna happen at the end of this year? The free agent crop is
yeah,
gonna be a slight bit better, but you haven't proven to do anything in 5 off seasons already. So what are you gonna do?
yeah,
This edge class isn't as good as this past was. Like even James Pierce. Like I listen, I don't want to hear about this character stuff. I don't want to hear about it's almost old school Michigan esque, which is we don't win national championships, but we're smarter than you. And culturally, we don't do what those other guys do. Nobody cares
hmm,
about that. Not saying that that's the way Michigan thinks anymore, for damn sure. but
right, right, yeah,
it's like certain Lions fans, a certain part of this fan base has this air about themselves that we're better than everyone else because we don't get those types of players. If Mike Green
yeah,
is good enough to play for the Baltimore Ravens, which is the most respected, one of the most respected sports organizations in all of pro sports, what
yeah,
makes you too good for them? Or if the Philadelphia Eagles are willing to take chances on players, if they have all these organizations have better histories than you, what makes you too good? What made you too
yeah,
good to trade up for James Pierce? What made you too and I understand there was nothing character wise that popped up about Will Anderson. And now, granted, we ended up with Jahmyr Gibbs in that draft, but
yeah,
the word was already out that they really, really like Will Anderson. You didn't go after him.
yeah,
Now, maybe
yeah,
the price was too steep, too steep. It wasn't too steep for Houston. They jumped over you and went and got him. You could have
yeah.
traded up for the cornerback from Seattle. That was your number one corner of the year out of
Devin,
Illinois.
yeah,
Devin
Devin Witherspoon.
Witherspoon.
Yeah, I wanna. Hmm,
You ain't go get him.
yeah, yeah,
You'll go get it
yeah,
for the offensive
and I
guy.
like yeah, and I think, like you said, Walt, you got to have some type of high level talent on the defense, man. And I think, I mean, this is not turning out to be a bash Brad Holmes show.
It's
That's
not,
not
but
what
we
we
just be
trying to
honest.
accomplish. But we just trying to make a point to just show that it's been times where we could have addressed the situation and we wouldn't be in the situation we in, man. If you would have just not even saying like, I just think in 2024, man, I don't have it in front of me. The players we took to get Manu, who's not playing, and Savali and Sione Baki,
Boy,
who's
oh
not
boy.
playing. we could. I know for a fact, man. The next time you talk, you'll say I'm gonna look it up. As I know, we passed on 3 or 4 guys. I know we did that. You know what I mean? Because I remember Makai Wingo when they took him. He was like one of the last of the 7 guys I had for day 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? And the Lions wound up taking him late, but it just came up to where now, like you said, 2 years later, we wouldn't be in this spot, man. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? As far as like maybe we have another offensive lineman, a center by now that we can count on. You know, I mean, we wouldn't be in this predicament trying to start Glasgow, you know what I'm saying, by emergency, that type of thing. You know, we'd already have our young pass rusher instead of like trying to bring Davenport from the dead, you know what I'm saying, and just have a young guy that's ready to play. You know what I mean?
It's almost
So
like they rolling him out there in a wheelchair, dumping him on the field. Like,
yeah, thank you, Corey. Yep, Jared Verse. He's another guy. Because you brought up you and Lamar, Spirit of Detroit
Braden
brought up
Fist.
Braden Fisk. Yep, and I always had like the Jared Verse. That's a good point, Corey. That was another guy that we could have got, man, and
They
we
gave up
wouldn't be in this. Go
a
ahead, Mark.
third for him. They gave up a
Third, that,
2025 third to move up into the draft to get him. So ain't no
okay.
telling who they could have got with that third round pick. And I it feels like we, with as hard as the Branch and Kirby Joseph picks hit, the NFL just got it wrong. They got it
Yeah,
wrong over 40 time. Like sometimes some of these guys that slip, St. Brown, the NFL got it wrong. Some of these guys just
yeah,
have no business slipping to where they slip. But if you look at the
yeah,
guys, the players that the picks you sacrificed, foolishly
yeah.
sacrificed. I don't care. And he brought up 3 first. You gave up 3 picks for Broderick Martin. 3.
Three, three,
3.
bro.
Let's be
Three.
serious. You gave up, that's 3
Dude.
dudes that could have been studs over here.
Yeah, that could
But
have
you
been
but
playing.
these people want to do is bring up Branch. Yeah, but Branch though. Yeah, but like
Yeah,
no, 3 players you sacrificed
yeah, yeah.
for a guy
Right.
that
At least I was just gonna say, you know, the situation. I'm going to tell you, the center position, the edge rusher. We talked about that. Okay, you know what position is really getting neglected now because we just traded, we just cut him. Was the quarterback? The quarterback. Okay, I
I
I
ain't
don't
want to
want it
do.
to happen. I don't want it to happen. But okay, let's just say Golf get hurt, or Golf has got another 3 years, 2 years left, or whatever. Who's your young quarterback you grooming, man? You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't Hooker, Hooker wasn't the choice. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying this year. I'm not saying in the past draft one. I'm saying like starting from next year's draft, they have to get a young quarterback because we already behind the 8 ball right now. All of these teams got look JJ, Caleb, Jordan Love. I'm just Jaden Daniels. All of these new quarterbacks are already finding
Jackson
their
Dart,
footing right. We're gonna be behind
maybe.
Jackson Dart, Michael Penix. You know
Bryce
what I mean?
Young,
Bryce
potentially.
Young. We're gonna be behind the eight
Baker
ball.
good too. Even though he
That's
ain't
why I
young.
mentioned Baker Mayfield. So we're gonna be behind the 8 ball without a quarterback when Jared Goff. It's time for him to step aside. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I looked at what roster it was. They had like 3 guys that was developing yesterday. I can't think of what team it was from the top of my head. But anyways, it'd be nice to have like 2 guys that you really know that's NFL quarterbacks. I mean, not free agent guys you getting off the scrap heap. Just can you draft a Nussmeyer. I'm just thinking of a guy. Just let's just say we took Nussmeyer or the kid from Oklahoma, I like John Mateer. Just say we really drafted one of those guys and really make him like this is our guy. And I don't think Hendon Hooker was ever intended to be like their guy. They
Well,
took him third. He took him third round, but I don't think that they was serious. Like he could go in there and really do something if given the chance. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean, you
right now,
understand that. I understand it. Our listeners understand
yeah,
it, but this fan base understand it? Because they've never seen a functioning organization like championship. Bill Belichick believed in the philosophy of drafting a quarterback every 2 years. The Colts drafted quarterbacks when they had Peyton Manning. Andy Reid had Patrick Mahomes. He had Donovan McNabb. He still drafted quarterbacks when he had them. So I don't understand this notion. It's like Lions fans feel like, okay, we're winning now. We've got ourselves one quarterback, and we don't need anyone else.
We don't need
Anything
anyone,
else is
and it's
foolish.
crazy. Right.
It's foolish to draft one. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yep. And I totally that you don't have to have 5 like Cleveland, but at least get
5
like
bums.
yeah,
Not bums.
5. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, you got 5 guys. So yeah, I mean, we just taking a stroll down memory lane, just thinking about the situation because it's like we could be in a better spot right now, depth wise, especially. And then too, you can already cancel. I mean, we didn't even think about doing our draft shows yet, but you can cancel any defense for next draft, bro, because we get in the center. You know what I mean? So whoever the top D lineman is,
no way.
we ain't getting them. Don't even think about it. Let's do like a whole draft 2-3 weeks on centers, man. That's what we getting.
Well,
but
before we get out of here, let's talk about that real quick. Low key, we should start ending every show with a little bit of draft talk. But I think depending on how this season unfolds, once Ratledge get his feet under himself, how he looks throughout the season, once Miles Frazier comes back and he's able to officially play Mahogany, how well he plays, they may not have to draft a center. Left tackle may be a problem.
Yeah,
because I do think that this is it for Taylor Decker. So tackle could be a potential position. We can be talking edge, but we can be talking edge rusher.
Forget edge rusher. They're not taking the edge. Don't even talk about edge rusher. We don't take edge rusher. We don't take. We got one guy. That's enough.
Hey, but Brad, Julius Peppers is on the board. Nah, I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. Give me Tavon Austin.
James Harrison. Oh my God.
We don't like all that super athletic stuff.
Yeah.
He ain't greedy enough for us.
We're gonna take Manti Te'o. You're gonna turn him into a great.
He's gonna be the next Lawrence Taylor.
Manti Te'o, the guy with the phony girlfriend. We're gonna take him a lot of character.
You see how he didn't came back. He didn't brought himself out of hiding.
Yeah, okay. I like him actually, man.
Yeah.
No, the
he on
NFL
NBC
Network.
NFL Network.
No, he on NFL Network. Yeah, he actually pretty good though. But yeah, man, it's just
cornerback
fun to kick it around. But
cornerback, another situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see, who wins this game tonight. Because just looking at before we get out of here, we talk about our next opponent. From Colgate. Yeah, he played. Don't even get me started, Corey.
He's got versatility.
So, played multiple positions. I was intrigued by the game tonight. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to kind of see what Philly, with Chicago, Minnesota working with. And from what I'm just saying, an early scout, and I know we're doing later on the week, we're going to talk about Chicago because that's our week 2 opponent. But, Caleb Williams look poised, man. I mean, they're not lighting the scoreboard up. It's only 17-12, and there's 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? But you could see Ben Johnson looks like, a lot of short throws to get him comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't really go down the field too much. I think DJ Moore caught one. I think Rome Odunze caught one. And he's been using his legs. I didn't really realize that Caleb Williams could scramble the way he is. I mean, he really, getting some first downs, and I think that's going to be a situation too on Sunday. because we know the Lions have problems with quarterbacks that can scramble and keep plays alive. You know what I mean? So the Lions really gonna have to be on the A game, and it's gonna be a
Yeah,
good
buddy.
game. You know what I mean? Now I don't know. Now this kid that just he ran a pick six back, they third string corner. His last name's Wright. I don't know this kid. Taller. He ran a pick six back for a touchdown, but it looked like he got a knee injury, went out. They already down two starting corners, so that might be a situation for them next week,
Yeah.
and they might not have any corners. You know what I'm saying? So we might be able to have take advantage of that. So, but their defense look stout. Well, they really do. You know, they really do look like the defense is gonna be like they're you know
Yeah.
they're linchpin. You know what I'm saying? So see how it
Yeah.
go.
It's gonna be a lot of juice in Ford Field, man. And
Yeah, it's
for
gonna be
everybody
hype.
listening that wasn't
Hype.
listening for the entire show, we touched on that briefly. I personally think that it's gonna come down to, can Detroit maintain their composure? And something else we didn't talk about. You don't think they want to win that game for Dan Campbell?
Yeah, of course they do.
Bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's something. It's not corny to say they want to win it for the coach. I
But they
know,
do.
man.
Let's be real. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yep.
dude left us. F him.
Yep, and
That's
they
what the
got
attitude is.
embarrassed. Yep, and yeah, I see Willie. Yeah, from Minnesota. The JJ showing me something. Going up top. Oh, touchdown! Wow, that was
Touchdown
good.
JJ Mack, boy.
Yeah, JJ balling, dude. Two
Looking
touchdowns
like a
second half.
young Jeff George.
Yeah. So Walt, yeah. So we get out here, Walt. Watch your.
Hey, Jeff George has some arm talent though. I hope he don't have the career Jeff
Yeah,
George has though.
yeah. Jeff George is a maniac. He's in real life.
That boy cussed out his
Uh,
own coach on the sidelines, boy.
yeah. Oh yeah, we got Wheat. It's Tyrus Wheat. I think he came from Dallas. I think. Yeah, Willie. Yep. And
Hey,
Tyler Lacey. Yeah,
I don't know either.
No, I know I know what he's saying.
I don't know either,
We got
man.
Tyler Lacey from the
About to say we got
Jaguars.
Tyrone Wheatley. Shit, if Wheatley willing to sign for the league minimum, he'll suit up on Sunday.
Yeah. The boys hit a 2-point conversion. They up 20-17. JJ out there balling. Ooh, I'm kind of rooting for Minnesota. I'm kind of rooting for them. Kind of want the boys to win.
So
yeah, well, I
one
like
quick
the
thing.
show tonight, man. It was a good combo, as always.
Yep.
We talk about this team. I'm just gonna end it with this on my end. I don't think it's time to panic. You know what I'm saying? I say what I said at the beginning because I was shocked to see them play the way they did. It was so flat. That's all. You know what I mean? And it's just Graham Glasgow, if he remains being the center, that they're gonna have to work through it. You know what I mean? I don't know how the season gonna turn out, but one game at a time, man. I'm not even looking to October, November, and any of those games. One game at a time, man. You know what I mean? That's all you can base it on right now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, because I think this division gonna be hotly contested. We got away with it going 6-0 last year in the division, 5-1 the year before that. So Green Bay really, in theory, they was due anyway to kind of beat us because we had our way with the Packers. Really, so 6 out of 7, right? The last 6 out of 7 we won. So
yeah.
For them to beat us, okay, and then let's play for it. And Thanksgiving Day, it's gonna mean something. You know what I mean? It's gonna mean something, and that's when, okay, if they beat us on Thanksgiving, then they deserve it. But I think we got something to say about it. When it comes down to it. So.
And before we slip up out of here, I do want to touch on one more thing that we didn't really get a chance to have at least dedicate a segment to, but Sam Laporta, I do feel this. And we don't know if this is going to be the offense that we're going to see consistently all season, but let's just assume, because
Yeah.
from a visual standpoint, this is all we have to go off of is what they ran week 1. If this is what y'all intend on being, which I do believe they do want to get Jameson Williams the ball more downfield. You need to utilize his speed, Tesla speed, in order to open up more underneath.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that outside of Gibbs, they may want to start utilizing this man a lot more because he is
Yes.
talented. He is the
Yes.
most athletic guy out there, but he has a knack for finding those soft spots in the zones. He's wiggly. He doesn't take any hard hits because he knows how to brace himself for tackles. He gets yards after the catch. And take a book out of Kyle Shanahan's book. I mean, take a page out of Kyle Shanahan's book and how he utilizes George Kittle. Go back and watch some of the film on lease with San Francisco and how they do utilize Kittle. So I just think that more 12-man personnel outside of Zylstra, we need, and that's not a absolute need this year, even though there were people talking about we should have drafted Brock Bowers a year ago. But I'm starting to think after year 5, maybe y'all want to lean more towards a 2 tight end offense consistently with 2 pass catching threat tight ends, similar to what
Yeah.
Green Bay has. Like if they can get consistent play out of Jordan Love with those tight ends and that
Yeah.
quartet of wide receivers and Josh Jacobs in the backfield, that's a nice team. No hating, but that's a
Yeah.
nice offense if they can get a talented guy like Jordan Love to play consistently. Hope he doesn't,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'm supporting my team through and through. But
Yeah.
all right, so we done, man. We gave these people an hour and almost 40 minutes of content. Rough
Yeah.
week 1. Um, a lot of the issues that we kind of forecast over the entire offseason prior to the NFL draft, after the NFL draft, all throughout free agency, kind of reared their heads in week 1. Is every game going to look like that? Of course not. We hope not. But losing week 1 is tough when it's not losing in week 1 to Denver, or not losing in week 1 to the Chargers or somebody like that, or the Titans. When you lose to a divisional opponent week 1, it's kind of like starting 0-2 because you 0-1 in the division, you 0-1 in the conference, and you just flat out 0-1 period.
Yeah.
And playing the Bears next week is as big of a must-win game a week 2 can be. I think it's massive for us because you don't want to go down 0-2 heading to Baltimore week 3 on a Monday night. We can believe all we want to believe in this team being able to right the ship. You don't want to be heading into Baltimore in that type of situation, in that environment, against that man over there in
Yeah.
Baltimore, 0-2, desperate for a win. So,
Yeah.
if you want to comment on that.
No, not really. Not really.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, we listen. We do have a whole nother week, a whole
Mhm.
nother game coming up prior to that. But I just thought I'd
Yeah.
touch on that because it's a must win. I
Yeah.
think this Sunday for this team.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I thought you were talking about the comment that came. No. I'm sorry. No. I wouldn't. Yeah, I always want to comment behind you, man. Yeah, of course. No. What you said, I agree with you. No, it's a must win, bro. Yeah, you have to. You cannot like not. You can't go 0-2. Period. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm saying that this whole uh Ravens game is going to be like our death march to to the cemetery, that type of thing. I don't think it's going to be that bad. You know what I mean? But let, we'll worry about that when we get there. But we got to win next week. You know what I'm saying? And for all account, it looked like Chicago fumbling this game. Minnesota hype, man. They play good. It's gonna be electric. I mean, we gonna talk about it, but Ford Field will be rocking Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And that alone right there is gonna give us the advantage. You know what I mean? But I just want I know my guys. I know our guy. Brian Branch want to get out there and play again. Penny Sewell gonna be in a sorely attitude, type mood. You know what I'm saying? So the guys really want to get out there and play again, man. And it is good. Oh, wow. Yeah, I want to watch this game,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? It's a good game, man. Minnesota balling out here, Walt. They out here balling. So that would be even more funnier for them to fumble this game like they did, and then the Lions just take them to the woodshed next week. Because I think make no mistake about it. I think you're gonna get an angry Lions team. And
Oh
I
yeah.
really believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
they're gonna want to play well. You know, Jameson, you know they all want to play well next week. So I we will talk about it this week later on.
Definitely. All right, man. Another great show. Love y'all. Thanks for everybody for tuning in.
Yeah,
As
appreciate y'all,
always,
man.
we love y'all in the comment section. Y'all make all of this
Yep.
work. Y'all give us great
They make all
commentary. And
yep.
we can actually talk to y'all about everything. So, all right, man. Next up, week 2, Chicago Bears home opener, Lions Avenue.